The FBI has a long history of demonizing black people, which is why we have to talk about the term black identity extremists. The FBI coined the phrase to refer to a specific threat to law enforcement. It was first seen in a leaked copy of a counterterrorism assessment published by Foreign Policy in October. Black activists believe this term is an excuse for surveillance and criminalization of their communities. The problem is, the FBI assessment paints all black activists as anti-police or anti-law enforcement. The government claims that it is trying to catch potential mass killers such as Micah Xavier Johnson, who killed several officers in Dallas back in 2016. Here's the thing, Johnson hasn't been linked to any black extremist groups, and Black Lives Matter made a point to publicly denounce the killings of these officers. Meanwhile, the Trump administration has repurposed a task force to exclude neo-Nazis and white supremacists in domestic terror investigations.
It really sends a message that it's open season on black activists.
This is Karen Bass, a representative from California who 2 weeks ago grilled Jeff Sessions on the existence of black identity extremists.
I'm aware that there are groups that do have an extraordinary commitment to their racial identity, and some have transformed themselves even into violent activists.
Are you aware of white organizations that do this as well?
Yes, but it's not coming to me at this moment.
Not coming to you?
Representative Bass also questioned FBI Director Christopher Wray about the BIE label and seemed to find very little answers about why it exists.
One of the most important questions we asked him is, how did you even come up with that term? And basically he said that people gathered newspapers and they kind of just threw it all together. There is no basis for that.
Black lawmakers and activists have every reason to believe this is a continuation of old tactics from the J. Edgar Hoover era of the FBI. Hoover's surveillance and subversion strategy, called COINTELPRO, had adverse effects on black activists and their social justice campaigns. The feds wiretapped and sought to intimidate Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. at the height of his influence.
We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality.
Information obtained from an FBI informant helped Chicago police carry out a bloody raid in 1969. The victims? Black Panther Party activists Fred Hampton and Mark Clark.
In December, police raided Black Panther headquarters in Chicago and Los Angeles. The officers had search warrants and raided just before dawn.
Many still call the raid an assassination.
This was an instance of the police going far beyond anything that was required to deal with that situation.
This is why several civil rights organizations have filed Freedom of Information Act requests, both with the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security, in order to learn to what extent these agencies are targeting black activists.
Folks are being surveilled because of their identity, because they're black. We have a number of emails that show agencies particularly surveilling folks' social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram accounts, using particular hashtags to target people. This surveillance is not some conspiracy. This is real and this is happening.
Since the BIE document became public, groups such as the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus, and even black police officers have come out against the term. But ultimately, opponents of the black identity extremist term say there's only one solution: to trash the document entirely.